Good evening, everyone. Today we are going to see our chemistry chapter number 2, chemical changes and reactions. So first is introduction to the chemical reaction. So basically, what are chemical reactions? So chemical reaction is a chemical change. So you all have known, right? Two types of changes are there: chemical change and a physical change. And then what specifies a chemical change is when a chemical change occurs. At that time, the properties of substance will change, isn't it? So those are the permanent changes which cannot be brought back, isn't it? So chemical change. So basically, chemical reaction is a chemical change, and the reactants will be changing into products. That means new substances will be formed. Either it may be one substance, two substance, depending upon the reactions, isn't it? So chemical reaction is defined as a chemical change in which matter changes into new substance or substances. In chemical reaction, the substance or substances taking part in the reaction called reactants and are transformed into one or more new substances called as products. So basically, you can say that in chemical reaction there are two sides. One side which is on the left hand side will be called as reactant side, and the other side of the arrow will be called as product side. So what is the difference between those is that the substances which are there on the left hand side are called as the reactants, and those are taking part in the chemical reactions. And once the chemical reaction get finished, afterwards whatever the products are formed are written on the right hand side, and those are called as the products, isn't it? So here they have told that reactants are there and products are there, so products are formed, isn't it? So chemical reaction, the procedure. What is the procedure, or how it actually happens? The deep inside, the microscopic wave, that how we are seeing that substances are reacting together, chemical reaction is taking place and products are formed. But how it is actually happening? So here they have given one example, and this I have taken from your textbook itself. So I'll just read it out. During a chemical reaction, the existing bonds of atoms or groups of atoms of reactants are broken and new bonds are formed, resulting in formation of new substances called products. That means here basically they are saying that in the reactant side, where the substances are having their own bonds, their existing bonds, those are broken and new bonds are being formed, and that's how the new substances are formed. So new products are formed, isn't it? So here let us look at the example for better understanding. Here in this example they are saying that nitrogen N2 plus oxygen O2, these two substances are there, two reactants are there. Those reactants are heated up to 3000 degrees Celsius, and after that one product is formed, nitrogen monoxide NO. So reaction goes as N2 plus O2 will be formed as twice NO. Okay, so here in some diagrams they have given over here. So N2 is diatomic, oxygen is also diatomic. So between two atoms, two nitrogen atoms, a bond is there, and similarly between two oxygen atoms a bond is there, isn't it? So this is their original existing bonds. Now these bonds are broken. These bonds are broken during the chemical reaction. And new bond is been formed. Between nitrogen oxygen between nitrogen oxygen and nitrogen oxygen. So existing bonds are broken and new bonds are formed between new substances. So here new substances are formed. That's what they want to say, that existing bonds are broken and new bonds are formed, resulting into new substances. So basically bonds are broken and new bonds are also created or formed, forming new substances. Bond, the linkage or force which acts between two atoms to hold together as stable molecule It's called a chemical bond. So bond is nothing but a chemical force or a linkage or a kind of a force which is holding two atoms together, two atoms or maybe more than two atoms. Like if we are talking about H2O, CO2, so three atoms are there, isn't it? It doesn't matter. So here for just for uh, explanation, we are saying that two atoms to hold two atoms together. So whatever the number of atoms are there in a substance or a compound, or it may be a diatomic or polyatomic. So basically the bond is, it is a force or a linkage which is holding atoms together. ठीक है. Moving to next slide, chemical reaction representation. How is the representation done? So basically there is an arrow in between, and there is the left hand side and right hand side, as I have told you before. Look at the table given here. One reaction has been given over here. Two substances are there in the reactant side, and two products are being formed at the product side as well, isn't it? So this is CaOH twice, which is calcium hydroxide, and this is nitric acid, reacted together to form products as calcium nitrate and water. So reactant side is LHS, that is left hand side, and product side is RHS, and in between arrow is there which is separating the reactants and products. So this is the shorthand form representation of the chemical reaction or chemical change. Chemical reactions, characteristics or indications. So basically when chemical reaction happens, that means when from reactants to the products this change is occurring, at that time some indications, external indications are being shown during the reaction. So what kind of indications it may be? It may be change of color, that means the reactants color are something different, reactant colors are different, and once the product has been formed, the color change will happen, that visible color change can be seen, and hence you can say that this is the characteristic of that particular chemical reaction. Or other changes, evolution of gas may evolve, like hydrogen, it may be hydrogen gas, it may be sulfur dioxide gas, whatever it may be. So a particular gas will evolve, and to test that gas also some this are there tests are there to test a gas. If you remember, then you can test CO2 gas, which is last year it was there in your textbook, right? To test CO2 gas, carbon dioxide gas, how are you going to test it? The lime water will get or turn milky, isn't it? So that was the test for CO2. So similarly, so gases are evolved, and you can just test test by that particular test, that by litmus paper and all those tests are there. So by that you can test that which kind of gas was evolved, isn't it? So evolution of gas. Third form is the formation of precipitate. Precipitate is nothing but insoluble substance which is present after the reaction, which is present at the bottom of the test tube. So precipitate is a thick insoluble substance which is not soluble and which is left behind at the bottom of the test tube. That is called as a precipitate. It is an insoluble substance. Okay, so that might form. And evolution or absorption of heat, that means exothermic and endothermic reactions. So these are basically indications. Okay, now so here change of color. Now all four are the indications. If they are asking you that what are the indications, then you have to write down there are four indications. First was change of color, evolution. Second was evolution of gas. Third one was formation of precipitate, and the last one was exothermic, endothermic. That means it may be absorption of heat or evolution of heat, isn't it? So those are the four kinds of indications. Now first they have given, now see, they have basically explained all these four indications and some specific reactions they have given. So remember this kind of reactions, because specifically they will ask you that they will give you in MCQs or questions like that identify which reaction comes under which type. So you have to write it down accordingly. So practice this reactions and understand it basically, so that it will be easy for you, right? So this is copper nitrate. See, only one reactant is there, you are heating it up, so that's why it is written heat on. That means you are heating it up, okay? So only one substance is there. So to change that one substance, you need some external factors as well, isn't it? So external factor you are giving as a heat. And now that copper 2 nitrate, that is copper 2 nitrate, when heated up will form copper oxide, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. So these two substances are the extra substance. The only substance we are looking forward is for what? The change of color. And how it has been seen, like blue copper nitrate was there, that got changed to copper oxide, which was black in color. So here the change of color was visible, was seen, and we are interested in this change of color. This shows here that this is the indication in this reaction which changes the color and the product has been formed. Okay, lead 2 nitrate. Even here one substance has been there in the reactant side. So basically lead nitrate, when heated up, it is forming litharage. Litharage is nothing but lead monoxide. This substance is nothing but litharage. It is called as litharage. Okay, plus 4NO2 plus O2. So here also same two byproducts are there, nitrogen dioxide and oxygen. But our main chemical change, the color change, has been occurred when this lead nitrate is got converted to the litharage. The color change happens white to yellow. So here these two examples are for change of color. Next one we'll see for evolution of gas. Evolution of gas is nothing but what? The here arrows, just give me 1 second. So basically here the reactions, evolution of gas, they have shown here that in this basically this is your reactant side and this is your product side. Okay, I am placing arrow here